Well, it is a tad difficult in our part to imagine anybody else but Frank Castle as the bloodthirsty vigilante, the Punisher. Castle, as we all know, is either busy shooting down his enemies or scheming his next move. He does not have the term boundary in his dictionary, nor does he have a problem striking women for that matter. In short, once he has made up his mind, he does not pay heed to gender. The man simply likes to get his job done. It is true he does not have the superhero tag, but at the same time, he does not really require it. But if we take a panoramic view of the Marvel multiverse, there have been instances where others have taken up the mantle of the Punisher. Well, this brings us to the main contents of today's video, where we will be delving deeper into the part where Wolverine became the Punisher. It will be an intriguing, in-depth analysis of Daniel Way and John Proctor's What If Wolverine comic, so you better stay tuned until the end of this video. Here's addressing every parallel universe peeker out there. Are you ready? Let's get rolling then. But before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you enjoy our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. What if Wolverine becomes the Punisher explored? The story begins in the spring of 1926. We get a picturesque view of the city of Rat Portage in Ontario and find Logan working there. It seems like he has finally found a place for himself amidst the Canadian wilderness. Also, at an unspecified point in time, he slept with a local woman at this bar, and the woman ended up giving birth to a son. Now, as we move ahead with the storyline, we learn that the bar known as the Black Heart is notorious for abetting bootleggers with a steady supply of alcohol from Canada into the US. In the meantime, the bar owner, Gerard, decides to have a serious chat with Logan. He gives him the opportunity to take his position and run Blackheart. We, along with Logan, learn that Gerard is dying and post a particular meeting later that night with some real organized fellas from Chicago. He has plans of heading to the south with his wife for treatment. But despite Gerard even offering Logan a home, the latter declines his offer, telling him that he does not consider himself a businessman, and further adds that he was never meant to be a part of any family and that he always belonged in the wilderness. Later at that night, we find Logan sleeping beside a canoe out in the woods when he gets woken up by a chaotic noise from a distance. As he rushes back, he finds the entire bar in flames. Logan somehow manages to grab a skull and crossbones flag from the bar and wraps it around a severely injured Gerard, who tells him before dying that everybody inside was killed by a man from Chicago going by the name Scarface. Fueled especially by the loss of the woman and their newborn son, Logan makes up his mind to seek revenge against Scarface. With him arriving in the mob-ridden windy city of Chicago, he starts asking around, and truth be told, he initially does not find any success. Logan's encounters with various men make it pretty clear that Scarface is a big man in Chicago, and it will not be that easy to get to him. Logan eventually finds an unlikely ally in small-time criminal Matteo De Pregia, who introduces himself as the go-to guy in the city. Upon learning from Logan that he's looking for the public enemy number one, or in other words, Scarface, Matteo tells him about the top floor of Metropole Hotel, one that serves as the base of operations of our big fella here. Matteo also informs Logan about the whole place being heavily guarded, but the latter instead tells Matteo to arrange a loaded gun for him. Next, he is seen wrapping around him the skull and crossbones flag that he had brought along as a shirt and stepping his feet into the heart of gangland with 6 bullets and a knife. Knowing Logan, of course, he has a plan, and he lets himself get captured and taken to Scarface, who is none other than his iniquitous half-brother Dog. Dog mocks Logan, telling him how he enjoyed murdering the latter's woman and their little baby, and then places a gun on the forehead of Logan, telling him that he is going to end him once and for all. This is when Logan lets out a wicked smile and tells him that all these times he was working in the mines. He got pretty good working on the blasting crew. The following sequence shifts to Matteo, from whom we learn that besides the gun and the knife, Logan had also asked him to arrange a few more things. This includes some electrical wire, an alarm clock, and all the dynamite that he could possibly get his hands on. Of course, Matteo had no idea what Logan would be doing with all those things, but it is only fitting to say that we learned in a big way when the clock struck 11 o'clock that night. Coming back to Logan, we learned that while making his way to the top floor of the Metropole Hotel, he had set up bombs literally everywhere. No wonder the hotel gets razed to the ground. It is a massive explosion, but Logan survives. Afterwards, he even comes back to Matteo and asks him to join hands with him in order to change Chicago. Logan tells Matteo that he will require a lot more guns and bullets, and sets out on his mission to punish the offenders. Marvelous verdict. With this, we finally come to the end of our video here. So, did you find this hard-boiled tale of vengeance? Did you fancy Wolverine as the Punisher, or are you Team Frank Castle? We would love to know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Also, stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and have a nice one.